Hi there. Today we are going to continue learning how to find the area of a section, or what we call a sector. So based on the warm-up, which you completed on the bottom of page 19 in your classwork packet, there's a couple ways to solve this one. You're just seeing a part of my picture here. We know we could do 1/4 of the circle, or 1/4 times pi r squared, and r was 4 squared. Okay, that would be what the area would equal. Or I could do area equals 90 over 360 times pi r squared. Or I could do 90 over 1. No, that's it. There's just two choices for area. Those are the two choices. Because 90 over 360 is 1/4. So it doesn't really matter to me. When you do this on the calculator or in your head, you get 4 squared is 16 divided by 4. We end up getting 4 pi meters squared. Same thing answer here, 4 pi meters squared. If you want to do the estimate, it'd be 4 times 3.14. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is I'm going to go over the homework. What I like to do is I'm going to put up the answers. I'd like you to mark any of the ones you'd like me to go over next week in class. So here are the answers from homework 15. I got 60.5 feet, 61.3 feet, 75.4 feet, and 6.8 inches. There are the answers for 1 through 4. Okay, in the middle of the page, I got 18.8 centimeters, 20.9 meters, 49.5 feet, and 69.6 feet. Now at the bottom of the page where it said not to round, so I left it in terms of pi. 14 pi centimeters. I'll take 570 over 36 pi, or 95 over 6 pi feet, 7 pi centimeters, and 39 pi over 4 feet. So I left all of these in terms of pi. Again, you're figuring out the ones you got wrong so that I can go over those on Monday. Star them, circle them, something. Okay, on the back, you were doing the area. Again, the top was rounding. So I'm on 13 through 16. 52.4 inches squared, 11.8 meters squared, 37.7 centimeters squared, 2,616.9 yards squared. Now, at the bottom of the page, the next 4, again, do not round. I left in terms of pi. 512 pi over 3 feet squared. I'll take 771 pi inches squared, or 343 over 2 pi inches squared. Both correct. Number 19, 147 pi centimeters squared. Number 20, 114 pi feet squared. The last 4, 25 pi miles squared, 120 pi yards squared, 49 pi over 6 kilometers squared, and 245 pi over 8 miles squared. Again, on the homework, you should have marked the ones you got wrong. Tonight for homework, you are only doing side 1 and 2. There are multiple sides here. I think there's 6 or 7 sides. You're only doing side 1 and 2. Okay, turn to your classwork packet. We're on page 21. It says area. Remember, we learned the formula for area. This is in terms of pi. So we had two formulas. One was measure over 360 times pi r squared, or measure over 2 times radius squared. This one would be in terms of radians. This one would be in terms of degrees. I'm going to do degrees this time, but it doesn't really matter. So here's what I know. X over 360 times pi, my r is 12, equals 28 pi. You know me, I always like to get rid of pi first. Now here's what I have. I have 144x over 360 equals 28. How do I get rid of this fraction? Multiply by the inverse. 360 over 144 times 360 over 144. Now on my calculator, I'm just doing 28 times 360 divided by 14. And I get 720 degrees, which cannot be right. What did Miss Carol do wrong? Times pi r squared, 144. 72 degrees, that's why. Because I should have done it as, no, it's 720 degrees. That's very odd. I have to come back and check that one a little bit. Okay, looking at the next one. Here's what I know. In the figure below, it says that AOC right here is 108. And the arc length of AB and AC are both 10. That tells me if that's 108 and 10, we learned in the last unit, this is 108 and 10. It says find the measure of AOB. We already know that. That's 108 degrees because we know if this is equal and this is equal because that's the central angle. Okay? Now it wants us to find the length of this. To be able to do that, not the degrees, which we're going to need, find the degrees first. So we have 360 degrees total, minus 108, minus 108. That equals 144. We know that this angle right here is 144. So if I'm looking for this, and we're talking length, we know we want circumference. So I know I'm using the formula where length equals the measure over 180 times pi r. Right? And it says the radius is 10. Oh, it says the radius is 8. So here I am. I know the length equals 144 over 180 times 8r, 8 pi. So I can leave it in terms of pi or not pi. 144 divided by 180. Well, I'm going to do 144 times 8. And then I'm going to do it 144 times 8 divided by 180. That got me 6.4 pi. Okay? Centimeters. If I want to round it, I just do it times pi, which gets me 20.11 centimeters. Now it says find the area of the section BOC. That's this whole thing. So now we know we're doing area. Area equals measure over 360 times pi r squared. Now we fill in 144 over 360 times pi. My radius was 8 squared. So 144 times 64 divided by 360, that gets me 25.6 pi centimeters squared, or I'll take either answer. .42 centimeters squared. Again, if you don't want to leave it in exact, that's fine. This is your about. Okay, when you're ready, turn the page and let's look at 9, the last one we're doing today. Okay, here's what it says. A, B, and C, D both have an angle of 30. This is 30, this is 30, this is 30. They're all 30 degrees. But their lengths are not the same. We know that OB is 4, and we know that BD is 6. So let's find arc lengths. Again, length is measure over 180 times pi r. So first I'm going to do AB. My measure is 30 over 180 times pi. The first one is 4. That equals 120 over 180 pi, which, by the way, reduces. Look, they both divide by 6. So this one's 2 pi over 3 inches. That's this little piece. We know this one's going to be bigger. This trips kids up. This radius is not 2. All the way is 6. So now we're doing 30 over 180 times pi times 6. That's 180 over 180 pi, which equals pi inches. What is the ratio of the arc length, the radius, for each? It would be 2 pi over 3 to pi. If we reduce, that's 2/3 to 1. Or you could have said 2 to 3. Okay, area. So again, reviewing area. Remember the formula for area is measure over 360 times pi r squared. So first they want to know how big is the little section. So I'm doing AB first. It's going to be 30 over 360 times pi 4 squared. I'm going to leave it in terms of pi just so I have less to do. So I'm just doing 4 squared is 16 times 30 divided by 360. That equals 1.333 pi. Okay. So I could say 1 1/3, or I could do it as a fraction. Remember to do fraction. I hit math, fraction, enter, and I get 4/3 pi, which makes sense anyway. Because look, that's 1/12, and that would be 16 over 12. Okay, now I'm doing how big is CD, that section. 30 over 360, again, I don't feel like typing that much into the calculator, times pi 6 squared. This would be 36 times 3 divided by 36, which ends up being 3 pi inches squared. Okay, what you're going to do now is you're going to give you the rest of the time to work on homework. You may work with a friend, and you'll just ask Miss Jaffe to put you in a breakout room with someone you like to work with, or you can work by yourself. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Remember, you're doing side 1 and side 2 only.